Hey, I'm Seth Johnson with Land House. Thank you so much for joining in. It's kind of a dreary Tuesday today, but I've got a lot of things that I want to accomplish. I'm going to go ahead and weed eat all around the house here and hopefully mow, even though it's really wet and it may not work out very well. Just finished building some ram pump pressure tanks and have a whole bunch more to go. So I'm going to meet up with a friend here in a couple hours, and we are going to install a 1 1/4 inch ram pump for his, he's got a sauna and a hot tub, and then he's got a cold dip. And the cold dip is what he's going to use the ram pump to bring creek water up so he can, I guess, go back and forth between hot tub and cold dip. So the big ram pump should be a fun setup for us. And then tomorrow, I'm gonna go back up to our new building that we've been working on. Because of the virus, we haven't done any work in a couple of months, and it's time to get back in there. So we'll be doing that. Anything else? I'm gonna be working on the micro hydro. So I've got the turbine under here, which you've seen in the last video. And then I've built this little device over here for a water hammer, pressure tank, and a pressure gauge with big valve. So rain or shine, I'm going to go out there and hopefully film 2 videos on this. I may even just set up my hammock tarp so I can build the housing for this unit even if it is raining. So anyway, I'll be back after I finish mowing. Okay, and the grass is mown. I also got the weed eating done along the side there, up over here around the house, yada yada yada. Okay, I'm gonna go change clothes real quick, take the kids to my parents' house for a moment, and then we will head over to my friend's house and install a 1 1/4 inch ram pump for Saturday's ram pump video. It's gonna be a fun ram pump install today with this much rain, but that's just part of it. Not too bad. Okay, just got that ram pump installed. It took 1 hour and 15 minutes with video and some talking, so really impressed with that setup. The drive pipe is a little too short and the pump is cycling pretty quick, but I think with his setup it's going to be just fine. So the next step is to go back to the house, eat a little bit of lunch, and hopefully get 2 micro hydro videos done. The first one is going to be installing the pressure gauge and checking for leaks. It's really rainy out, but hopefully I'll be able to still see if there's an obvious leak. And then the next video will be building the housing for the turbine. So then hopefully next week we can actually install the turbine and see it start up. It should be fun. Okay, off to the house. Made it back to the house. Man, the GoPro was definitely a lifesaver today. It rained on us pretty good for about 10 minutes, and we just kept on working with the GoPro. Worked out really well. So I'm gonna go out here and install this device on the end of the micro hydro system. So I'm gonna need one of these. Hopefully these work. We're gonna go test the pressure and see if we have leaks in them. If we do, I'll probably just go back to let's see, these right here, and just see how well those work. Anyway, so I also thought that I need to get this upright, and so I'm going to cut this little 1x4 in half, and perhaps use some of my plumber's tape. Ooh, all this is wet. Need to dry this stuff off. So yeah, just use some of this with some screws on there, and hopefully make it with some little feet. So we'll do that. And then I have to wait a few more minutes for the GoPro to charge up, and we will head back out. It's not raining now, but I think it's going to be soon. Also, yeah. So after this video, I'm going to try and film another one where I make a little house for the turbine to rest. And so we'll have to see which piece of metal we want to use for that. Probably the little tiny one right there, because this one is too small. So we'll need this, we'll need one of these, shouldn't need that. Let's see, I may take the head strap. I'll probably end up using this little tripod for the GoPro. See how well it works. Okay, so let's put that in there. We'll need a couple of screws to hold that in place. Perhaps something like, yeah, those, I guess. Well, it is raining enough that I can't really use the camera out to film the micro hydro stuff, but this is exactly why I purchased a GoPro that's waterproof. So, just like this morning, installing that pump, I'm going to be using the GoPro here. So I'm going to go ahead and swap over, head back out there, leave a tripod and tools out here. Okay, let's go over here and see what we got. So far, it's working well. It's got a decent bit of pressure behind it. It takes forever for the air to get out of the line uphill. Yeah, still terrible. So our pressure is holding around like 10 psi. I saw it get up to 50 earlier. So my guess is there are several leaks in the system that need to be worked out. One nice thing is that that is holding. Before it was trying to bust loose, but I put 4 different hose clamps on there and rebar, and I think it's going to hold. We'll see. I wonder if that has something to do with the pressure loss. I don't know, maybe. I've been painting Emma's room this very subtle pink. I need to do like right above the window here and maybe a little bit around the trim before it is done. When you turn the main light on, it looks more white than pink. But anyway, before Ashley gets home from shopping, I'm going to touch up the corners one more time. And I think, let's see, yeah, back here needs a little. Ashley's going to be rearranging this room. I think we're going to get rid of this dresser because we got this new one. And then I'm going to be building Emma a full-size bed instead of this one that I built before. I think Arrow's going to get this one. I've spent several hours today here at our new church building working. Let me show you what's been done since you saw it last. Got the HVAC and electrical in. The bathrooms are now plumbed in. So you can see plumbing over here, toilets. So this is the men's room. We'll have a vanity seat over here. Step over this way, and this is the women's room. So we've got the 3 sink and this little closet and baby changing station, and we'll have the 4 different toilets on this side. Water fountain. So today we've been running wire, and then I was mostly up here on this chase that hides the wiring up here on this corner. I think it'll also be used to maybe hold some lighting or something like that. So yeah, HVAC is in, and the guys back over here have been building the sound stage back in the back. So anyway, I didn't bring you along for any of the real work because it's just kind of boring watching me work. But anyway, this is what I've been doing today. We worked pretty good in that building today. I think next week we're going to get a little bit more wire run, and then it'll be time for sheetrock, and we have to sand the floor. So we are almost into that building. So I was having some problems with the micro hydro penstock couplings. They kept popping loose. So I tried using some of the rubber couplings, and whenever it would reach about the 45 to 50 psi, those would pop loose as well. So I have just picked up some extra thick couplings and some more O-rings, not O-rings, hose clamps, and that should do it. So I'm gonna double up on the hose clamps and use my extended bars with hose clamps. So it'll basically have 6 hose clamps per connection, and I hope that keeps the full 60 plus PSI in that line. plus the water hammer effect that happens. So anyway, I'm gonna go pick up the kids from my parents' house. I hope some parts have arrived because I'm building pumps tomorrow and shipping them out. I've got a lot to do. But I'm gonna go ahead and end up the vlog here, and I will see you in the next one. All right, bye.